Welcome traders, this is Vishal and you're watching Nifty Short Term View, episode number 25. My motive for making this educational video is very simple. We can see that the market has pulled back very nicely in last few days and suddenly we saw a selling spree today in intraday and Nifty Futures has closed almost 236 points down in the red territory. I'm pretty sure all of you would be thinking that is the pullback over and are we going to see a selling spree in next few days as what we saw in the month of February. So I hope this educational video will be helpful for you. But to benefit from this entire video, you would need to watch till the end. All right. So without any delay, let me start the video. First of all, in terms of trend, it is very clear that the price in the daily time frame chart is flat. The trend is completely flat. Neither the trend is down, neither the trend is up. And what we saw in last few days was just a pullback. Now, a person may assume that market Nifty Futures from 15,676 till almost 16,922. This is a very serious run up in next last few days. And still, why it is just a pullback? Why it is not in an uptrend? The answer is very simple. The reason because it is just a pullback is that the volatility is very, very high. And generally when the volatility is very high, the sell-offs are very big and equivalent to that, the pullback is also very, very steep. If you see the over here somewhere in December, the volatility was such that ATR was somewhere around at 287, 288. And currently the ATR, which means the one-day movement, could be somewhere around 355 points in Nifty Futures. So if this ATR, if this volatility keeps on increasing, you will see equivalent steep pullbacks and big sell-offs. So first of all thing, as I told you, that the trend is flat. And if you check the trend in the hourly chart, it is also flat. Now, one very, very important thing which I was noticing in last few days is the volume pattern. Now, if you look carefully to the volume, this one candle, if you see, I'll just negate this candle. But other than that, overall, when the price is going up, the volume was coming down. You can see the price is rising. And if I just place this trend line, the slope of the trend line is coming down, which means the volume was coming down and the price was going up. Generally, when this sort of things happen, it is a sign of negative divergence between the price and the volume. Now, if you look at the daily time frame chart, if you look at the candle, it looks a very negative candle. The reason for that is, first of all, we had been trading near the 61.80% Fibonacci retracement of this entire fall. And there was also a gap, which I guess we managed to close the gap, although a little bit part is still untouched. But we cannot neglect that this is a very strong resistance. Now, is this point such a strong point that we can start a new downtrend from here? The answer is yes. First of all, the answer is yes. But if you look at the hourly time frame chart, my friends, what I can clearly see that on the upside over, on the downside over here, we do have a support band. And that support band is from 16,600 to 16,533. All right. So until and unless we do not close below 16,400 levels and sustain below that, we will not be able to see new downside in Nifty Futures. But that does not mean that we will also see equivalent upside. Generally speaking, when market is locked in a range or any particular stock is locked in a range where there is resistance on the upside and support on the downside, generally it is very difficult to make money. And generally we will see gap up or gap downs happening in next few days. This is a possibility. And this is what I have been witnessing in last 15 years of my trading career. So next few days, a trader has to be extremely cautious while taking his new trading positions. All right. Be very, very careful because just a small gap up or a gap down can at times add to unnecessary losses in your trading portfolio. So again, I will repeat, yes, weakness is visible, but we'll need to close below 16,400 levels and sustain below it. Only then we will be able to see lower levels coming up in Nifty futures. Now let's have a look at the Bank Nifty futures. Now in Bank Nifty futures, it seems very surprising because according to my personal view, it was probable that Bank Nifty futures would have gone slightly higher more and then probably, started showing some sort of weakness. But rather than that, we clearly saw that Bank Nifty futures closed almost 389 points down in red territory. Now, is this candle a very, very negative candle? If I compare it with Nifty futures, the answer is no. It's negative, but not that dangerous. All right. In fact, even this particular point from where the selling has come, it's not a very strong resistance. I would consider somewhere around 37,000 or 37,200 a very strong resistance rather than this 35,690 or 35,700. Other than that, if we again look somewhere over here, we do have a support band, and this support band is from 34,652 to 34,429. So until and unless we don't see this particular support band breaking, we will not be able to see some serious selling pressure coming up. And even if this particular support band is broken, my friends, we do have another support band. If you can see over here, there is a gap. So according to me, first this support band needs to be broken, which is between 34,652 till 34,429. And after that, we need to close below 34,000 levels. Once we start closing below and sustaining below 34,000 levels, then I think we will be able to see lower levels pretty easily. Before that, I think taking any positions on the downside in Bank Nifty futures would be little bit dangerous. One more thing is, let me be very clear that we do have resistances on upside somewhere over here and maybe somewhere over here. This is not a very strong resistance, but we cannot neglect it. And as I told before also in this video, that when we have resistance on the upside and support bands on the downside, generally seeing gap up, gap down is very, very common. So I would suggest trading for next few days. Any trader will have to take new positions very, very cautiously. All right. Please don't jump in any trade just because suddenly you see intraday selling spree coming up in Nifty futures or Bank Nifty futures. Don't just carry over shorts in your portfolio. Be very careful. Know your levels very, very carefully. Know your intraday charts very, very carefully, and only then initiate your trades. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Share this video with other people, with other traders who would find this particular video useful, and let me know by your comments below. How did you find this video? Trade wisely. Thank you.